Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. So off we go then.
We're in the presence of goalkeeping greatness, a man with total command of his defence.
I'll say I wouldn't fancy going eyeball to eyeball with him.
No, I mean, I always like a vociferous keeper, and Oliver Kahn would be perfect for me.
And it's Azar. And that's been won straight back. Now it's Shevchenko. Zanetti making good progress. Alexander-Arnold promptly onto that, and that is that. Raul. And this is Ronaldo. Schneider. Schneider proves just a little bit too strong. And the finish! That is great defending, so alert. And we have our very first corner. They've played it short. And now they can spring out of defence. Knocks it out wide. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Raul, who needs just a moment to score a goal. Corinthians are still to register a shot on target. As a matter of fact, a shot of any type. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Looking for options for movement. And he's there to get it away. Oh, he's done very well to take that back. And it's Azar. And the pass is intercepted. Robertson. And that's a really buccaneering run he's making. Oh, look at the shot at goal! There it is! The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Yeah, and having the thrust to get there is one thing, having the composure to score is another.
So the first goal of the game.
Yeah, it's rare that one is enough though, Peter. I get the feeling they'll be wanting another as soon as possible.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Plays a sharp little ball here. Oh, that's fabulous. Hazard.
Corinthians certainly could do with a positive spell for the remainder of this half, just to set the tone for what's to come.
And here's Lopez. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Van der Ven cuts out the pass. Looking for the run. Chiellini gets over and intercepts. That's the end of the first 45. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break. Corinthians finding themselves behind by just one goal at the break.
It's been a pretty tepid display. They'll want to use this break wisely to regroup and come out with some fresh initiatives. This is all still very salvageable, maybe even winnable.
So that's how it stands at halfway. We'll be back with the second half very soon. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all a
terrific effort! He doesn't look too happy with that.
Filippo Inzaghi certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Saliba. Oh, what a mistake! Now he's running away. Now it's Zielinski. He's picked his way through. Now there's a fine chance, surely! And it's in! They have come roaring back!
Well, they were starting to look more and more threatening, Peter, so this comes as no surprise. The fans here are pretty fired up now.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Shapes to shoot! A real chance and a real let-off.
Oh, how about that touch, Peter? I mean, that was brilliant. He got the ball to go exactly where he wanted it. The touch was perfection, the finish, imperfection. Corinthians have clearly reached a level of comfort in this half. Why not use the impetus to plough on?
Van der Ven calmly anticipates. Dani Olmo. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Now it's Hazard. Corinthians are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on...
Shoots! Dealt with nicely by the defence. Juve. He won't be happy with that one. Zanetti crosses it in. Nice and easy for the goalkeeper. Juve. Now that looks a decent ball. Juve. Chiellini wins the duel this time. And it's Messi. Spread to the right. Lampard. Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. The ball has bounced loose now. Messi. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Shevchenko. Oh, he's burst through. Takes a shot! Oh, he's done it! Oh, that has got to be it! This has to be it! And that really is so impressive.
Well, from the moment he got involved, he looked as if he'd go all the way. Terrific.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here? Some intricate passing, looking to progress. Can he finish? And no mistake. And surely that clinches it. There really is no way back now. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
Just way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
So is that... Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that's a tough one. Losing is never good, but this one feels especially... Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. So that's got things underway. Lionel Messi's heroics in the Middle East still very fresh in our minds, Jim.
They are 7 goals, and deservedly the player of the tournament. He was terrific in the knockout round, scoring in every game, and I was particularly impressed with that semi-final performance.
Yeah, penalty to start with, of course, and then he finished it all off, setting up the third, 20 minutes out from the end.
Yeah, it was a perfect performance against a very tough and durable Croatian side. He was a star.
Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Oh, that's fabulous. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Good ball, good take. Juve was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Oh, just skips past his man. Juve! It's loose and there's a race for the ball.
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision-making. Okay, initially he probably was afforded the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
Olise looking to receive it in space. Oh, sweet feet. He's got away. That'll be a throw-in.
Might want to be careful there.
So it is still 0-0. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Olise. Some really good ball movement. Tonali. Spread to the right. Now that looks a decent ball. Nice bit of skill, and he's away. Could be danger here. Rijkaard. Rijkaard gets a foot in here. Juve, someone who can always claim to be the most immaculate finisher. And it's Tonali. Just past the 40th minute mark.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. He's got plenty of space out wide here. Applies the finish! And that signals the end of the first period. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. So very little to report. Nothing, indeed, in terms of goals scored.
Well, this will have given them a chance to look for any potential holes and weaknesses in the opposition. Something that will bear fruit once the teams come out again, I'm sure, Peter.
So both teams still stuck on the starting blocks here. 0-0 at the break. That gets us going once more.
Well, I suppose from a defensive perspective, Peter, neither manager can be too unhappy. I just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
Barcelona with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually.
Barcelona genuinely seem like a side that's confident with the quality they have out wide. They certainly like their little intricate combinations and link-ups.
Well, that's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, I think you'll want to make sure you give the opposition a different look with each attack, variation,
It's Vieri! And that would have been some goal.
Vieri clearly is trying to be too clever there. He should have gone with his instincts.
And here's Vieri. Bernardo Silva. Cannavaro is there, and he can get that clear. Oh, good-looking ball. Played out to the left flank. Rodrigo is in a really good position out wide. Bernardo Silva. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
And here's Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva! Well, that wasn't too dissimilar to the previous attempt.
Corinthians really can be very happy with the way they're going about things, Peter. They'll want to capitalise on this good spell, though.
Zielinski. Threads one in. There's the shot! Superb from Vieri! A finish right from the top draw! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Corinthians are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Corinthians have penetrated for the first time.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence and...
Tries a shot! It's a goal! Two to the good, and they are purring, absolutely purring. Whoever is in his path, he will always find a way.
Vieri demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really...
And the shot! Oh, it's hit the post! Relentless! Just relentless! Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes. Not so much sophistication as doggedness and sheer bloody-mindedness.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
A case now of complete control.
Yeah, it's all happening now. There's been an upping of the intention and urgency, a real step up in possession and purpose now.
Ahead by 3, but they won't want to take their foot off the pedal. Edmilson, the man that is tenacity personified. Zielinski. And it's Bernardo Silva. Great ball, and he's in here. Oh. Great chance! And there's a goal. They will take that. They are absolutely ripping it up. The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
This is a gloriously greedy performance. Messi. Bout of passing here, really. And Hullet! And that will be the final act. Corinthians really have hit the heights. A tour de force that has left their opponents... Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. We are just getting started. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, Peter, this lad, Dominic Szoboszlai, is someone I'm going to keep an eye on here. I like the fact that he's one of the cleanest strikers of the ball, which really shows in both his passing and his attempts at goal.
Shoot! And it's a goal!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate, on heels rather than toes.
Another moment of magic, a real wow moment.
Oh, what a finish. I mean, an instinctive finish at that, and he probably didn't even have time to think about it too much.
So, a breakthrough already. Hazard, he shifted it to the flank. Dani Olmo, he's shifting through the gears here. And he walks, chance for a shot! He's done very well to get to that.
Matheus Cunha actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Atalanta with the corner, they're first. Cleared away. And now they can spring out of defence. Oh, that's fabulous. So much. And Shevchenko! Goal! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just laughed...
Real chance! It's a goal! Truly superb. A goal of such supreme quality, composure and class.
It was wonderful vision to see the movement ahead, and how about the weight of that pass? Ideal.
Atalanta cut their deficit and look raring. And a header! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
Well, the manager clearly has to react to this and tactically change what's happening. It's too easy for them to get in.
Knocks it into space. Now it's Shevchenko. Still very early doors, but it is a closely contested affair. Rijkaard is the distributor-in-chief, always looking for movers. Now, can they get him away? And it's Tonali. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Dani Olmo threads one in, and that has been cut short. Rijkaard. Passing is crisp and sharp. Juve. Now that looks a decent ball. Now it's Dani Olmo. You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Now it's Shevchenko. Zielinski. Corinthians heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. And he's there to belt it away. Dani Olmo. Picked out brilliantly. Shevchenko!
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Matheus Cunha. Szoboszlai. Schlotterbeck. He might be in here! Shot a goal! And he's cleared it out of harm's way. And that marks a high-octane end to the first half. So we have here a genuinely competitive game with neither team truly in control. A single goal the difference at half-time. It is quite a game, breathless and laced with excitement.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker, and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
Corinthians are leading. Takes a shot! It's loose now and they want to get it back. And the pass is intercepted. Good take, and is he in? Dani Olmo!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Passes short and sharp. Zielinski. And it's Tonali. And it's Olmo. And here's Shevchenko. Oh, he's having a go! Again, a brilliant save. And he's managed to get rid. Marquinhos. Zielinski. And this is Shevchenko. Decent chance! And he's stuck it away. 2 up now, and they are cruising. Well, it would have been harder to miss.
Again, that's terrific movement, Peter, and an even better pass. It's beautifully played.
2 goals on the day, and he may not yet be done. Corinthians now in a position far more desirable.
Well, this is nothing less than they deserve, Peter. They're in the driving seat now.
Nicely weighted ball. And this is Shevchenko. Atalanta can breathe again. Just.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Now it's Dani Olmo. Aimed beyond. And Shevchenko! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
It's their second corner of the game. And it's Bernardo Silva. Kukcu. Oh, lovely bit of skill. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. Great vision. Oh, good take in a good area. Shoots! Now, who's going to be first to this? And it's been hooked away. Looking to play him in. Kukcu makes the interception. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Gerrard cuts a frustrated figure right now. He just cannot get away.
He needs a minder. And
can he finish? Just cruising! They are cruising! And with that, it is pretty much a done deal. calm, composed, confident. What a super goal.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
It's starting to look like a done deal now. And we're done. Well, that was a tale of two very different teams. One driven, ruthless, prolific. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. So it's away we go then. Well, Jim, there he is, the much-storied Gabriel Batistuta. Fair to say, I think he will be a handful.
Well, talk about an understatement, Peter. He's Argentina's greatest number 9, without doubt. I don't think I've ever seen anyone strike the ball with such violence, if I can put it like that. We might well be seeing his iconic celebration in the next couple of hours.
We've got a throw in. And now they can clear their lines. Plays a sharp little ball here. And he's found a way past. Pass somewhat off target. Danny Olmo applies the finish! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, beautifully shaped ball.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
That's been cut out, well played. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Corinthians clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Oh, good read.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Corinthians still without a single shot on target. Oh, he's been caught napping. Well, it's a look of bewilderment. His touch deserted him at the key moment.
Yeah, very careless, and I leave it at that.
Neymar looking to pass their way up the pitch. Threads one in. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Barcelona clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
And here's Batistuta. Zanetti tries to pass it through. Chetri. That's good play. Chetri! Oh, it's a beauty! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. The first significant strike. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
Corinthians have penetrated for the first time.
Well, this should allow them to be a bit more expansive, although they'll be wise to be cautious for now.
It's Inzaghi! He is world-class! Pippo Inzaghi! About as smooth as it gets! They are purring, truly purring! The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish. Corinthians are now luxuriating in a two-goal lead.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
He'll try from distance! Oh, that looked awkward, but he had a good crack at it.
Well, he's never the sort to doubt his own capabilities, always fancies himself no matter what the situation.
Nicely aimed pass. Now it's Tonali. Oh, that's well spotted. Works it forward. Bernardo Silva. Chetri. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Can he get on the end? Big chance! Oh, that's close, and that will be the last of it. It's half-time. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Corinthians really did kick on after getting that first goal. Could they have gone another one and killed the game off completely? Possibly. But as long as they can keep up the intensity, maintain the purpose levels, I think they'll get another chance soon enough.
Corinthians firmly in control at the break. 2-0 the scoreline. And we get things going again. Oh, they could be caught out here. He's got away. Judge, surely! Just cruising! They are cruising! And they are disappearing out of sight. Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
The danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
Corinthians find a position of real strength now. Zanetti. And it's Zielinski. Zanetti. He's picked his way through. Now that looks a decent ball. Chance for a shot! And he should have made it 4.
Well, it didn't quite come off this time, Peter, but that's a warning to the opposition. This team know how to counter and they'll be looking to do it every chance they get.
Oh, good effort! It's a goal! His utter joy! He engages with absolute happiness! A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
2 goals on the day, and he may not yet be done. Corinthians are having a ball here.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
And he is dashing away. Shevchenko! Oh, terrific save.
Well, there's always that risk, Peter, when a team commits too many numbers forward. You can't help but leave some gaps at the back.
They've played it short. Corinthians have the chance to go the other way. And it's made its way to him. He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. That's a shade optimistic. Well, it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked.
He's having a pop! Oh, he really got hold of that.
I thought it was a really good break. No shortage of pace nor intensity. Exactly what's required when on the counter-attack.
Just about up to 75 minutes. And that is expertly dealt with. Neymar. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. And it's been played through. And he welcomes it. Decent chance! Goal! Pressure? What pressure? He feels none of it.
Yeah, he won the jostle, and it was a very good finish, and I think he'll go away feeling pretty good about that one.
Well, they may be down, but they're in no mood to go quietly. Passing is crisp and sharp. Chetri. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Puyol gets over and intercepts. Howson cuts out the pass. Rijkaard. Beckenbauer. And claimed it back swiftly. And here's Batistuta. Tries from a long way out. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Corinthians pretty much in utopia, imposing themselves in the manner they wanted right from the start. A show all about one side's remorselessness, ruthlessness, relentlessness. Filippo Inzaghi taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So it's away we go then. Oliver Kahn, a huge man with a huge presence And a big voice in the game.
And big in intensity too. Such a fierce competitor. Put a foot wrong and he'll be sure to let you know about it.
Well, he just commands respect, doesn't he? Respect of everyone, teammate and opponent alike.
Yeah, and he'll be setting the highest of standards out there, and he expects them to be met. No rest for that defence.
And here's Raul. Alonso. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball.
Gerrard really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Chetri! Goal! Corinthians! And that is fabulous. A true beauty of a goal.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter. He had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. Pops him off it and wins back the ball.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Plays a sharp little ball here. Throw in. Ah, good steal. He just read it. And this is Vieri. That is a great pick out. And that has been cleared. And we have our very first corner. Towering header! He doesn't look too happy with that.
Well, there wasn't too much wrong with his effort. He needs to get on the ball again and give it another crack. I would. Argentina really do like to play with a distinctive style, one that's pacey and expansive.
And they have the players, those players that love a gallop or two out wide.
Yeah,
It's Okazaki! They want to be quick to recover this. Oh, he's been caught napping! And that's really well manoeuvred.
if they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Vieri, who needs just a moment to score a goal. Lovely ball and a... Vieri! He's got a goal! 2 up now, and they are cruising. A truly wicked strike, nigh on perfection.
Oh, that's an incredible shot. The dip and the curl he managed to get on it. Impeccable technique, Peter. Absolutely impeccable.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, that's a real psychological weight off the shoulders, I think. It's a very different game now at 2 up. You have to expect that from everyone now.
Threads one in. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Now it's Vieri. Takes aim and crosses. Harrison clears it away. Oh, what has happened here? Ah, such a clever touch. Can he finish? Now, who's going to be first to this? Linton tries to crash through the challenge, but no. And it's Zanetti. And he's cut it out.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
On Chetri! And that marks a high-octane end to the first half. So your views on the first half?
Well, I think things have worked out pretty well so far, Peter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think the manager has to resist change at this stage.
Corinthians looking composed, content, comfortable. leading 2-0 at half-time. So we're off again. Messi. Juve. Now it's Gerrard. Now it's Berbatov. No way through. Gehi kept his eye on it, and he's there. Messi. It's a searching pass. He's being urged to shoot. Can he finish? And that's in! Just as they wanted it! Just when they wanted it! As simple as you like, the outcome utterly inevitable.
And the first thing he's going to do here, Peter, is thank his teammate for the pass. It put it on a plate for him.
And in a trice, the substitute has scored already.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Argentina cut their deficit and look raring to go again.
The manager must have given them...
Oh no, it's an own goal!
Well, that's really unfortunate. He'll be kicking himself at the moment, and believe me, I know how that feels.
Well, who saw that coming? It has certainly made things interesting.
Look, often chances are hard to come by in these games, so just one mistake could be all it takes to make the difference.
Zielinski providing an outlet on that flank. Oh, nice touch. And he's managed to get free. Cross from Zielinski.
That was well seen too. Good clearance.
It's a threatening ball. And he's going for goal! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Oh, that pass isn't the best. Rijkaard.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Plenty of appeals, but the referee is not interested. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Juve. Now he's got space here. And that's a nicely shaped ball. That's the keeper's ball. And here's the chance to counter. Rijkaard calmly anticipates. Chetri. Now it's Hazard. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Messi. Kajolu. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. And no, that was never going to make it. Now then, the ball's come loose. And it's Tonali. Gerrard. Nicely shaped ball. Chips it through. Zanetti.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Corinthians clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
That's that, the end. Corinthians are chirpy, cheerful and contented. It was a... Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. So off we go then. So there he is, Wesley Sneijder, a terrific playmaker.
Yeah, one of the very best to emerge from that legendary Amsterdam production line. An old-style number 10 whose ability with the ball is the envy of many.
And is that his greatest strength, or is there more to him?
Well, without doubt, it's his tactical intelligence combined with his pinpoint precision. The guy is like clockwork. You have to have that if you want to play there.
Oh, played right into his path. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Milan clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Oh, well played, well played. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Corinthians clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted. Well, neither team has yet managed to impose any authority, and as a consequence, this game's just drifted.
He has found the way through. Oh, now here's shoots! That is decidedly lacking.
Milan really are good at what they're doing. They'll gladly take any opportunity to launch that counter.
And they're back on the ball again. Truthfully, it was hard to see any better outcome there. Azar can so cleverly bypass the press. Cute ball now, how can he reach it? No messing about, just bludgeoned away. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening.
Diouf really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Dani Olmo. Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it. Corinthians couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
Sneijder. Shevchenko. Well, a goal here just before half-time could mean a great deal. Great vision. No, he's had it taken off him. Diouf. Oh, this is a... There's the shot! Andrei Shevchenko! Formidable! Truly formidable!
Well, what a great goal from a great player. An absolutely glorious strike, just when no one expected it. A real mood changer right on half-time too. Now, all of a sudden, they're going into the break on a real high.
He does it all with an air of efficiency and simplicity.
Yeah, he always had the measure of the keeper, and there was very little doubt as to how this was going to end up.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap whatever they had in mind for the half-time team talks. One has got to tone it up now, and the other has to tone it down.
Tonali. Some resolute defending there. And the referee has blown for half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. Corinthians coming in at half-time, leading by 1-0.
I thought that was a decent 45 minutes of football. Plenty of signs that both managers can take a lot of encouragement from. I would say the mood is neither overly negative nor positive. You still have to approach this like it's 0-0.
Corinthians have played well here, and they have the all-important lead. It's 1-0. And we are back underway.
Corinthians can do themselves a massive favour by grabbing another one here.
That is ended up in no man's land. Dani Olmo. Zanetti is offering some sort of an apology there.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
He might be Haaland! Oh, split-second reaction.
Haaland really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Opts to play it back. Decent chance!
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
They're coming again and again.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Shevchenko looking understandably energised after his goal. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. And he's there to belt it away. Nicely weighted ball. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Oh, easy pickings there. And this is Hazard. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, Peter, if they're attempting to see out the game with such a narrow advantage, there's room for trouble. I just think they're sending out the wrong message. This could backfire.
And he was alert to it. Zanetti clears without hesitation. Neymar.
Oh, great feat, that.
He's found a way through. Now the chance! They want to be quick to recover this. Oh, what has happened here?
Milan really might just end up kicking themselves after that. That could well have been it.
Oh, that looks a cracking ball. He's shifting shots, surely! And that's a good finish. 2 up and in charge, and things are looking pretty good for them now. And that is a goal worthy of universal appreciation. Even the opposing fans have to recognise the quality there.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just lashed out at it, he took his time and he put it where very few can.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, I think it's just the reward for their application. They've played with great courage to try and kill this off, and for me, it looks like they've just about done it.
And that is that. Corinthians can probably lay claim to the... Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So it's down to business here. Edwin van der Sar, such a calm, composed keeper.
He is one of the first sweeper keepers, Peter, because his feet are almost as good as his hands.
Well, that has not gone well. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Can he finish? They've scored!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
So, a breakthrough already. Great defending, strong and determined. And it's Azar. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Zanetti. And here's Vieri. Now it's Tonali. Oh, that's a key interception. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. And this is Vieri. Vieri! Oh, that is beyond special! A worldie and a half! A finish right from the top draw! And they're threatening to fly away here! And that is stunning, just too hot to handle.
I think it was probably past the keeper before he even saw it. Incredible he got so much power with so little backlift.
Corinthians are doing very nicely, thank you.
Well, now's the time you could afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Bernardo Silva. Now it's Vieri. Approaching the half-hour mark. And he's well positioned. Real chance! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Chetri really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
And we have our very first corner. Header! Oh, it's hit the post!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And here's Vieri. Mateus did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Corinthians clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Marquinhos spots it and intercepts. Chetri. Now it's Vieri. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And he shoots! That was superb goalkeeping.
Vieri is offering a wry smile there.
Corner number 2 then. Oh, looks like he's been taken out there. It's gone in! He's put through his own net!
I've been there myself, and that's the last thing he wanted to happen. I really sympathise.
Corinthians benefiting from an own goal. Not that you'll hear them complaining. Looking for options for movement. And the shot! Relentless! Just relentless! There is a man right at the top of his game, and he just knows it. A momentary lapse mercilessly exploited. They were absolutely lethal.
The danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
Clinical, just clinical. What a game this is turning out to be for him.
Well, you had to fancy him, Peter. He seems to be growing in stature with every goal.
Corinthians are having a... So, a temporary halt to the action. Well, what a half they've had. Cruising to victory, and it's only half-time. Astonishing.
Well, for me, it's a lead that's thoroughly deserved, Peter. They've been quicker to pretty much everything so far. The only thing you've got to wonder is, how taxing is this for the players? How long can they keep it up for? Are we going to see a fade in this second?
Tries one from range! No, that's just wide.
Utai Tani are stuck in a rut, and impatient putts at goal won't really help their cause here. They need somebody to communicate composure and something more constructive.
Mateus. That is good strength. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Bernardo Silva.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Oh, that's fabulous.
That was lovely, that.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
He is through here, and he's in on goal. Mateus. And that has put paid to that. The ball has bounced loose now. Could be danger here. Go for a shot! And yes, it's there! An act of great generosity, accepted gratefully, indeed gleefully.
Well, you've got to give him credit for pressing so quickly there.
And very quickly, the substitute made his mark.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Utaitani get their goal. A bit of respectability restored. Now it's Asa! And the keeper has done enough. Top stop.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Marquinhos. Looking to play him in. This looks promising. He's picked his way through. Great challenge. Time to perfection. There Great football, shot and save. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Mateus, there he goes, motoring forward. Rijkaard, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Maldini. Rice. Oh, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense. And it's Azar. Tries to pass it through. Confirmation that there will be 2 minute stoppage time. Mateus. And here's Vieri. And that is that. Ah, this is a side which is purring, picture perfect, a win they will relish having. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So off we go then. Well, here's a man who stunned everyone in that famous summer of 2002. He had a hand in his country's most famous goal, their most famous win, and he helped to introduce the footballing planet to Senegal.
Yeah, he did indeed, Peter. El Hadj Diouf, the undoubted driving force behind that fast, powerful...
Can he finish? Oh, the ball's run loose here.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks. Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Oh, that's a key interception. No way through. Now, can they get him away?
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And this is Inzaghi. Oh, that's nice. Chiellini did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Short changes him with that pass. Tonali. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. And it's Bernardo Silva. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Zielinski. Koundé gets it away. Bernardo Silva. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This Bernardo Silva! Again, a brilliant save.
Bernardo Silva really can't believe it. Foiled by the keeper again.
Corinthians with the corner. They're first. Throw in. He's going for goal! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. Now it's Stojkovic. Pass somewhat off target. Threads one in. Shot could... Oh, shooting chance! Oh, it's a stunning goal! A finish right from the top draw. Corinthians take the lead. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
The first breakthrough.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here. And while there's never a good time to be caught out, you
Oh, he's all alone. Shoots! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Corner number 2 then. Towering header! Goal! They are purring, truly purring. A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
Corinthians are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
I think there's been a greater menace to everything they've been doing during this spell, one that they hope will continue.
Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now that's well seen too. Rijkaard is all... And that brings the first half to a close. Some first half thoughts?
Corinthians really did kick on after getting that first goal. Could they have gone another one and killed the game off completely? Possibly. But as long as they can keep up the intensity, maintain the purpose levels, I think they'll get another chance soon enough.
Corinthians firmly in control at the break. 2-0 the scoreline. And so the action is resumed. It's Inzaghi! Yes! And they are disappearing out of sight. That is lovely, finished with amazing expertise.
Well, it's one of those, Peter, when you've got to take your hat off and just say, too good.
Corinthians find a position of real strength now. Van Dijk spots it and intercepts. And it's Bernardo Silva. And it's made its way to him.
Well, they've stamped some authority on things, but how much more authority can be generated?
Plays a sharp little ball here. He has found the way through. Kukçu. Azar. Barcelona have got it back and they'll have another go. And that is a little undercooked. He's found a way through. Rijkaard getting this one clear. Corinthians are looking to go forward now. And he's managed to get free. And he's found a way past. The message is clear. None shall pass. Girassi! Lacking in accuracy.
It's certainly a bold attempt, and there's nothing wrong with that. Shame.
Real chance! And a neat finish. This day becomes absolutely perfect. Utterly ideal. An act of great generosity, accepted gratefully, indeed gleefully.
Well, you've got to give him credit for pressing so quickly there.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Corinthians are at the peak of their powers. As for their opponents, a long way from that. And that's it. So just time for me to say thanks to Jim for his wisdom and... So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. There's the whistle, and here we go. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, Peter, this guy Donnarumma really is a generational talent, Peter. I suppose you have to be good if you're a goalkeeper and your name's Gianluigi. He really has inherited the mantle from his namesake.
And Bernardo Silva! Goal! Corinthians! And we have liftoff! Calm, composed, confident. What a super goal.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
So, a breakthrough already. And claimed it back swiftly. Van Basten.
Bellingham really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
And that interception was most decent chance! Oh, it's come off the upright. Goal kick, as confirmed by the referee. And he was quick to react. Inzaghi, looking for options for movement. And the shot! And there's a goal! Again, in a trice, and they are soaring! Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner, and he picked them off instead.
Corinthians are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
Oh, that's a key interception. Now it's Inzaghi. Pedri. Oh, that's a very decent... Van Basten! Oh, split-second reaction.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Inter Milan with the corner. They're first. He's rising! Oh, that's a fair try, but just off target.
Yeah, it's good movement, though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
Pinches it off him. That's a lovely, neat pass. Can he finish? Well taken goal. And they are dragging it back. Game on again.
Yeah, a fantastic run and a fantastic pass to play him in. Both needed to be timed to perfection, and they were.
Just one in it now.
Well, what a difference a goal makes. Now all of a sudden it seems the belief is back.
It's Van Basten! It's in! They have come roaring back!
Well, they were starting to look more and more threatening, Peter, so this comes as no surprise. The fans here are pretty fired up now.
It was thrashed in, the crispest of hits.
Well, he's absolutely drilled that, Peter. When you hit it like that, the keeper's not going to be able to do much about it.
Well, what a game we have on our hands here.
Well, that's really winded the opposition. You can see their manager screaming on the touchline, telling his team to calm down. But they'll need to do that pretty quickly. It's composure from here.
That's a little off target. And it's Zanetti. Xavi Alonso.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Can he finish? A probing pass. Oh, well played. Oh, it's a great ball here. Kukcu. Oh, easy pickings there. Quick look at his watch, and the referee whistles for half-time. Corinthians are involved in a terrific contest here. It's been a slugfest and a half. Caution certainly not on the agenda here from both sides.
Well, I can tell you it's been a wonderful watch, Peter. I'm not complaining. The goals just seem to keep on coming. It clearly means that defending hasn't been at its best, but you know what I'm like when it comes to defending.
So a really enthralling 45 minutes, beautifully poised for the 45 to follow. The score at half-time, 2-2. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
I'm struggling.
Van Basten! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Inter Milan have their second corner now. Cleared away. And he's been shifted off it. Inter Milan appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
No, that's been intercepted. Pedri. And this is Van Basten. Xabi Alonso. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
That's simply brilliant defending. They were outnumbered, but he still came out on top.
Van Basten is flagged offside. So we have movement on both benches. That is ended up in no man's land. Kukçu. Looking for the run. There's the shot! Incredible! Just incredible! A game of margins! A game of thrills! This might just do it! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
And with that, the hat-trick is complete.
Well, talk about being on top of your game. Everything seems to be coming off for him.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's
having a pop! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Inter Milan have their third corner. He's there to head it! He's done very well to get to that.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Nice looking ball. No luck with that dink over the top.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
Messi. Nicely weighted ball.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
In towards the back stick. And they've got rid. Kukçu gets on his bike and on the move. And Inter now could counter-attack. And he's managed to get free. He's had a shot! And he has kept it out somehow.
Shevchenko clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
So their fourth corner of the game.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
And it's Shevchenko. That's a pretty loose pass. And he's managed to get rid. Edmilson. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
And he's gone looking for safety. Oh, this looks sharp. Yamal running with the ball. Zanetti deals with that comfortably. Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Well, what a game. Unpredictable to the very end, momentum shifting this way and that. The kind of match, as neutrals, we all love to come and see. Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. Well, we're on the way. So Javier Zanetti, Jim, very little doubt, I suppose, that he will have a huge influence on the outcome today.
Absolutely, Peter. One of his teammates even said he was better than all of us put together, which goes to show how complete a player he actually is. When it comes to balancing attack and defence, I'm not sure there's ever been anyone better.
McAllister gets a foot in here. Neymar tries to play it through. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Zielinski did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. He steps in, and that's the end of that. And that's a nicely shaped ball. He's got away. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. That's an imaginative pass. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it.
Yeah, the crowd have tried to spark some excitement, but to no avail. This needs something explosive.
Engages and forces him off the ball. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Spread to the right. Tonali steaming forward at pace. This looks promising. And Bernardo Silva! Oh, special! That is a special goal! He's got himself an absolute peach. A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
So we have the first goal.
Well, this should allow them to be a bit more expansive, although they'll be wise to be cautious for now.
Tonali plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. Now that looks a decent ball. Bernardo Silva was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Oh, we expected better, and so did he. Now it's Inzaghi. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Bernardo Silva wins the duel this time. Bernardo Silva, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. And this is Inzaghi! Oh, how's that for a goal? That is a gem! An absolute gem! A quite incredible... And that is indeed the final act.
Well, I don't think most of us were expecting a second, Peter. It's become pretty much the ideal half.
That certainly seems to be the case.
And that ought to encourage an even more ambitious approach in this second half, Peter, with control already established.
Corinthians sitting pretty here. 2 goals putting them into the driving seat. And we get things going again. No, he's not getting any further than that. Well seen. Saw that coming. Doué. And he was quick to react. Threads one in. That is lovely. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. And Bernardo Silva! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Corinthians with the corner. They're first. And that has earned a reprieve for the time being. And now they can spring out of defence. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Edmilson. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Corinthians in a very solid position, 2 to the good. Great vision. He's through here. He's found a way through. Zielinski! Oh, off the bar. Doué. Zanetti. And it's Doué. And the pass is intercepted. That pass has been well intercepted. Doué. McAllister. Can he get on the end of this? It's Inzaghi! Oh, that was no routine save.
Filippo Inzaghi actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
They've played it short. Now it's McAllister. No way through, so back it comes. Now it's Doué. Neither of these. There's the shot! Corinthians are looking to break at pace. Now it's Messi. And he is deftly away. Shot, surely! And it's there! That is his ton! And does he not know it? Lacking for neither time nor space, it could scarcely have been more straightforward.
Way too good, Peter. Too quick, too smart for that defence, who were made to look a little lost, in all honesty.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
A case now of complete control. Neymar tries to pass it through.
Corinthians couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? So 3-0 now, and surely there'll be no twists in the plot. Fermin does really well to win the ball there. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Chetri, he has found the way through. And he's there to belt it away. Taken back almost at once. Tonali, and it's Lopez. Passes short and sharp. Chetri! A whisker away from making it 4. Rijkaard. Time added on will be 2 minutes. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. And that's that. Well, that was a tale of two very different teams. One driven, ruthless, prolific. The other quite the opposite in all of those areas. The result, a very...